What is going on, Facebook? This is Tyler Carlston with the Mortgage Accelerated podcast. And today we have Alex Jimenez on. How you doing, Alex?
I'm good. Thanks for pronouncing my last name right.
Yeah. I bet a lot of people get that wrong. So what have you been up to?
Not a whole lot, man. Like I said earlier, I found a stray dog today, but just doing what we do on a daily basis and doing what we can to help veterans.
Yeah, that's an awesome journey. So Alex, why don't we dive right into it? Where'd you come from? What's your story like? Give us a little bit more background about you as a person.
Yeah, no problem. So I'm a branch manager for a company called Benchmark Mortgage. I've been in the industry for about 15 years now. I've been a branch manager for Benchmark since the beginning of the year. And prior to that, I was with Hancock Mortgage for about 2.5 years. I'm a one-man team. I have a production partner. I've got an underwriter and a processor that help me along and a ops manager that kind of helps me through the process as well. But I'm a single originator in this office. So
it's awesome. So what made you get into the mortgage business? You said you've been in the industry about 15 years. How'd you get your start in it?
So I was a sales and marketing manager for a development company. This was pre-crash. I decided once I moved to Nashville, I did not want to move to another city. Moving to new cities every 6 months gets to be lonely after a while. And I had a buddy of mine that was a senior vice president for Chase that was actually
improve on. And when that switch happened, my productivity and everything went through the roof.
Yeah.
So Alex, tell us a little bit more about the VA side that you work in? What made you so passionate about helping veterans with their VA loans?
So my passion started before the market crash. I was actually thinking about this in the wee hours of the morning. I got up and got running this morning about 4 a.m. And I thought about the first VA loan that I did. There was a company called Franklin American, and Franklin American came in. I still remember the rep. Her name was Rhonda. She came in and she had this handbook, and it was navigating the VA loan process. And I was one of the only people that picked it up and looked at it, because back then we were still doing pick-a-pays and fast and easies and everything else, and everybody was focused on the subprime or the Alt-A paper back then. And I had a client, he was a police officer in Clarksville. So Clarksville is the home of Fort Campbell, which is 101st Airborne. And he was a veteran. And working with this guy was working with a totally different type of person. If I needed something, he got it. He was loyal. He was respectful. He did everything we needed to do. The loan process wasn't as easy back then because of the fact that nobody did VA home loans. If you were a veteran, you just got a loan. It wasn't a VA loan because that wasn't the popular thing. And after working with him and having a great experience, he recommended other people in the police force to me. And I started making a connection with these people. Well, backstory, I grew up in a Navy household. So my grandpa was in the Navy, and unlike most kids, when you get in trouble, you have to go stand in the corner. We had to do push-ups, sit-ups, flutter kicks, dig holes, things like that. I always saw the respect he got. I also have 2 brothers who are Marines. One is 100% disabled Marine. The other one is still active duty. He is in Okinawa currently, but he served 3 tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. So that passion, I want to help people the way I would expect my family to be taken care of. And when I see the backdoor ways that some of these loans are handled, it pisses me off. It's not the right thing. You can't sit here and enjoy the freedoms that are provided by America's greatest warriors and not pay them the same respects back when it comes to helping them with the one benefit that they can truly enjoy and that they work their ass off for, that they took an oath with no knowledge of what the total cost would be for what they committed to. And then when they come back to enjoy that American dream, you, for lack of better words, fuck them over.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. So let's dive into that next. So what do you see in the industry that's really pissing you off about this? Like what's one thing that gets your blood boiling over it?
The lack of education on both sides of the fence when it deals with agents and loan officers alike. You have 2 different sides where, there's almost a like a discriminatory practice towards veterans when it comes to offers being accepted by, and let me be clear, by some agents, not all. Okay. I'm not talking about every agent out there. I'm talking about people that believe the old myths that the seller's going to pay more in closing costs if they accept a VA loan, or the appraisal is harder, or the inspection is more difficult. Situations like that, it irritates the hell out of me, because we're talking about somebody that just wants to buy a home, that's entitled to the greatest home loan, in my opinion, out there. And that has, people say a lot of times they have no skin in the game. They have skin in the game. It's the sacrifice they made when they served to earn that right. That gets my blood boiling beyond belief. I've literally had sellers agents call me and say things like, well, we can't accept this offer because it's a VA offer, and, he's not putting any money down. It's like, he doesn't have to put money down. He's earned this right. Or when they say, well, we'll accept this, but our sellers are not paying any of the veterans' fees. And I have to step back and say it's okay, because they don't have to. Back in the day when homes were selling for $70,000 and people were charging 3% origination and underwriting and processing and all these other fees, yes, there were non-allowables, but it wasn't a requirement for the seller to pay those. It was just the veteran could not pay those. You know what we do if we hit a non-allowable? We pay for it. I had a client here recently. She had to get a termite inspection done. The seller's agent was under the impression that the seller had to pay that fee. She agreed to pay that fee. Well, through conversation, we got to talking about non-allowables. This was me educating the seller's agent, so they understood that there wasn't going to be tens of thousands of dollars that they had to pay for this veteran. And through that conversation, I said, they're not even required to pay the termite fee. Well, that agent turned around and told the buyer's agent, well, we're not going to pay the termite fee now. The buyer's agent calls me upset and says, hey, XYZ client now has to pay this fee. What should we do? I said, she's not going to pay it. I'll pay for it. So I got on the phone and I called the pest control company. I gave them my credit card number and I paid the fee. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. There are too many mortgage people out there that have no idea what they're talking about when it comes to a VA loan. They think Tidewater is a Tide Pod diluted down to a drinkable substance. They don't know what it actually is. They don't know how to approach that. They don't know to gather a COE. They don't know the difference between a DD 214 and proper time and service, and things like that are required. If you're a veteran and you come to me and you say, I want to utilize my VA home loan, the first thing I'm going to do is thank you for your service, pull your credit, and get a copy of your certificate of eligibility. If I can't access that, we get a copy of your DD 214 and we order it. I am not having you spend a red cent or go out to see a single front door that isn't currently yours without having those pieces of data in my hand to make sure that when I tell you go chase your American dream, that you're eligible to do so.
Yeah, stand behind you on that one. So, Alex, what's your goals for the next 12 months look like? What do you have planned out? What are you trying to accomplish next?
My biggest accomplishment. So one thing I am very focused on is giving back to veterans. I run a couple of events per year where, we do one called Rappers with Vets, where we get a bunch of toys, we wrap them up, we number them, we take them down to the local VFW so they can give them to veterans who maybe don't have money during that time of year to buy gifts. So I want to increase and continue that. We have Weenies with Warriors, which is basically a cookout that we do for veterans. Now, mind you, when we do these events, I never stop and say, hey, I'm Alex, I'm with Benchmark Mortgage. When I'm asked, I say, I'm just a concerned citizen that is thankful for the sacrifice that you guys have given to this country. It's not a whore out, get marketing done and show those things. So I want to continue to grow those. I do a lot of work with local veterans here where I help them promote their business. And I do it behind the scenes. And that's my reward to me, to be able to help those people who have made sacrifices to us. So my goal over the next 12 months is to continue to grow that, to become a larger contributor to our boot and shoot that we have every year, which this past year we gave $1.1 million back to benefit veterans, and continue to hopefully educate realtors and loan officers alike on the VA loan process. This way they understand how to do it. My base of realtors know that no matter who's handling a deal, if there is a question, they can pick up the phone and call me without worry of me soliciting the client or anything like that. And I will answer it because we have to do what's right for the veteran.
I like it, man. So, Alex, that is all the time we have today. So I appreciate you coming on and just
Yes, sir.
letting everybody learn a little bit more about what you do and why you do it. And everybody tuning in, I hope you got some value out of that. And I cannot wait to announce our next guest on the Mortgage Accelerator podcast next week. Catch you guys later.